I love an eccentric character. I actually really like Teddy. I don't see him surviving too long past when the nuke is set off, but I like him. The other two are on their knees and he's sitting there with his legs crossed. Imagine him in the line. So in this review, I'm going to get straight into it because of what just happened and what's about to happen very quickly. We're actually going to be getting episode 15 2 weeks from now instead of just 1 week because it's going dark next week for Memorial Day. But of course, in the show's time, it's going to happen really fast and it's about to be changed forever. I don't think people have really grasped on how big of a deal it is. George, wouldn't the character in The Walking Dead hear it if a nuke went off? I mean, maybe. But I don't think because we didn't get a scene of Daryl hearing a loud boom and saying, "Massive in the wind," that the nuke won't happen. Fear can do what it wants. Doesn't matter if we didn't see a scene like that. I wouldn't be surprised if they even filmed a scene with Daryl or of him turning around and being like, what was that? But that's it. We don't need that scene to believe a nuke went off. But let's get straight into it. No time to dither. Of course, make sure you subscribe because it is free. If the subscribe button is red right now, make sure you tap or click on it to make it grey. And go and check out the Discord for all the latest. So the first scene we see is Teddy. When the apocalypse was starting, he was in a prison on death row. Because as we learned last episode, he is a serial killer. He's mad, delusional, head's been done over. And it's here we first see how crazy he really is. We didn't really get that completely when we first saw him. But it's from here where we saw, he's crazy. And I do love a crazy villain. And then we see he's had Alicia in a room for hours trying to brainwash her with his voice playing on the radio, the speakers over and over. But of course, it doesn't work. Riley sees that and suggests to kill her.
Let's leave her behind.
No.
Joke's on you, Teddy. Riley was waiting for you to do that. And then we got the first kick to the nose of the episode.
Huh?
Dakota?
So it's revealed Dakota is trying to be recruited into the End is the Beginning people. And I wasn't actually upset about that. She says to Alicia once Teddy is gone that she could try to kill him. So at first I was like, alright, well at least you're not rotting at the damn feeling sorry for yourself, trying to sponge emotions. We don't do that. If we want to be liked in this show after doing something bad, don't sit and feel sorry for yourself, do something. So at first I was like, okay. The only time I haven't liked Dakota is when she killed John. And I actually really liked Alicia and Dakota together as a duo. Them together in scenes was good. It was a million times better than her and Charlie. In fact, why is Alicia
There is no we here. There never will be.
Are you sure about that?
She's best friends with who killed her brother though. And she didn't do anything to redeem herself but cry. Dakota is actually trying to make up for it, but you're gonna have none of it. Bit weird. Teddy takes Alicia and Dakota on a drive to find his alleged dead mother. That's what the episode's named after. Teddy's mother. Someone who he refers to a lot. Yeah, it wasn't going to be Madison. When Fear says it's Madison, it's not Madison. If she returns, it will be when you least expect it.
You're really starting to sound like
Don't
my mom.
care.
Cole?
Whoa, clap. Everyone wanted that. I mean, I just couldn't contain my excitement when I first saw him. Wonder if he's got any information that will help us really find out if Madison could have survived. There's got to be a reason that he's coming back, and it's not just like when Morales came back in The Walking Dead Season 8. A highly forgettable character, but he came back and it all meant something. Imagine if it was just like that. Imagine if they brought him back and it meant nothing. Imagine if this is what they meant when they said Alicia faces her past. That would be hilarious. Since the moment Cole opened his mouth, everything he said, did, and the way he acted was weird and off. And it's revealed they've pulled the whole, this character's been through so much, he's not the same character he used to be. And he's so different to the point, it's just the same actor with the same character name. He's not really the Cole we knew. And if you didn't know who Cole was in the first place, he was basically just in Season 4 for a brief moment, Strand's love interest at the stadium. So after an awkward conversation with Alicia, he says,
"There's an old auto parts shop nearby."
They go there and get ambushed. Cole is the leader of this group of cringe.
You can take them off now.
Sorry, Alicia.
They didn't have to wear the masks in the first place. No one recognizes them.
Are you kidding me?
No, we're not.
I really felt that one. My arms right now are actually arced outwards because I've just cringed too much. They've been through so much, Alicia. They're just not the same they used to be. They've turned to holding up the daughter of the one that saved them because things were that bad. This is very similar to what happened with Morales in The Walking Dead Season 8. A reasonably forgettable character, but comes back briefly, having been through something a lot less fortunate, full of animosity against who they used to know, and then they die. But he reveals on the way back that there were quite a lot of survivors at the stadium. Madisons Sacrifice actually saved a lot of lives, but just a week after, they were attacked. Most of them were killed. They were looking for Alicia, Nick, and Strand, so it makes sense that they have some kind of animosity, especially when they had to witness loads of their people die. What we learn from this, though, is that Madisons Sacrifice, the people she saved, died soon after. And now the last few survivors of that are dead too. So Madisons Sacrifice didn't really do a lot. It essentially just brought these people extra time. Nick lived shortly after, but then there's just Alicia, Strand, and Luciana. But the characters she would have actually saved from the stadium from what she did are all dead. Cole actually says that himself, that what she did was pointless. And I think went a lot behind why she even shot him. He's just not the character we saw in Season 4. It was cool seeing Cole. I do love when characters return. Whatever happens to them, I really like it. If anything, we learn from this that if Cole can come back, anyone can. I saw some people say in the comments on my review for episode 13, oh, it's not going to be Walker, it's going to be Cole, we've seen the leaks. I didn't say it was going to be Walker, I said I really wanted it to be Walker. There's a long list of unaccounted for characters that I just didn't wish to go down. Walker is the one I would want to return. The actor for Walker said he didn't like where the show was going after Madison left. Nor did I in Season 4, but if I was Walker, I'd be fucking back there like nothing. People take the comments of actors way too seriously. Like when Andrew Lincoln said that he regrets leaving The Walking Dead. Hundreds of people send it to me like he just woke up one morning and was like, right, I need to go back on there. Of course he misses it, of course he's sad about it. It doesn't really mean much. His story is set. And just because the actor for Walker said he didn't like where the show was going in Season 4, it's going on to Season 7 now. It really doesn't matter. If they asked him to come back, I think he would. Great character.
What the hell? I'll blow her damn head off!
Go on.
What kind of a psycho are you?
Well, now you're the one who's shooting shotgun shells into a corpse.
I actually really like Teddy. I know Season 6 is going to end with them having to stay in the bunker for a long time. I would actually be all for Teddy surviving that.
That Cole isn't the only person we need to get rid of to make things better.
You little piece of filth. I stuck up for you. I wasn't even surprised. I was just genuinely disappointed. Her reason for pointing the gun at Alicia and not killing Teddy like she said she was going to plan to do is because she's been looking for a new start for a while now. She thought it was with Morgan, but it's with Teddy. It doesn't really get more idiotic than that. I mean, Alicia is the reason she was even given that opportunity in the first place, and she turned on her. That's why I don't think Dakota will survive. I wouldn't be upset about that. I genuinely don't mind Dakota, and her scenes with Alicia were enjoyable, they were good. Far better than her and Charlie. And then we get a really cool scene where they take Alicia away, and she manages to warn Morgan on the walkie-talkie about what's happening. Alicia was really good this episode. Again, I've never really disliked Alicia, but she's just not really done much until recently. Then in the final minutes of the episode, Teddy locks Alicia away. She is literally stuck in that room, and the next thing on Teddy's to-do list is starting up this submarine. So let's look at the trailer for episode 15. All of the characters are gathered outside the submarine, and I just think that's so cool. Just looking at Morgan go in there is just amazing. If you had told me at the very start of The Walking Dead that this character, Morgan, would be going into a submarine to stop a nuke from going off, I wouldn't have believed you. Now, I've already got an idea of what's going to happen, and it's become very clear to me that a lot of characters will die. There's recently been a theory going around on Twitter that's commonly being known as the tears theory. You know the character portrait posters we got for The Walking Dead Season 6? The only characters crying are June, Dakota, and Sherry. which is really convenient when June and Dakota have lost people. June has lost John, Dakota lost Virginia, who she later found out was her mum. So that would mean, surely, Sherry loses Dwight. If or when Dwight dies, Sherry's going to feel guilt, because she never really opened back up to Dwight, and we've seen, I mean, like I've said in my reviews, it's almost like he's had no self-respect. He's constantly tried for Sherry, yet is likely going to end up sacrificing himself for her now. Again, if you had told me Dwight gets nuked in Season 6, back when we first met him in The Walking Dead, I wouldn't have believed you. As soon as I came to that revelation, it made so much sense. I mean, just look at the way these characters are standing where they are. You've got Dwight with Sherry. You've got John Dorie Sr. with June. These are characters that will sacrifice themselves to get the other person away. I didn't see John Dorie's dad going too far. I think at the very least he'll get to kill Teddy, which would be cool to see. As much as I did say I like Teddy, I personally think that's the perfect close to his story. I think that's why he's returned, to do that. Remember, in Grace's vision when she was unconscious, what she saw in that reality, Dwight and Sherry had kids. It all worked out better, but the opposite of that is actually going to end up happening. And remember when I said Alicia, Luciana and Wes went off to the stadium to rebuild it, but for some reason Charlie stayed. They went out of their way to recast her. So Charlie could get nuked. That's not a joke. With Dwight as well, I talk shit about him, but I do like his character. It's more him as a person, because it's insufferable to watch him suckle up to Sherry, who doesn't care about him. But of course, her care about Dwight will be put to the test when he sacrifices himself. That's just what it's looking like right now. Because we won't have an episode next Sunday, I'll likely upload instead of that my predictions for what's going to happen exactly. What I've just said is what I think is going to happen, but I'm going to have a whole video, likely a death prediction for this nuke. And by the way, on Tuesday, my Season 11 The Walking Dead death predictions video will be out, so make sure you look out for that. Oh, fuck. I'm not mentally ready.
How are we looking, Riley?
2 minutes.
Morgan in a submarine is already a 10 out of 10. Looking at this picture, I really hope they're not about to nuke Daniel. Don't do it. It should be Charlie that goes. It just should be. With her being seen in the hallucination as older as well. I do hope that's the picture they're painting. But I should have a video going into the deaths a lot deeper. But these next 2 episodes are looking like they could be the best episodes that the Walking Dead universe has ever put out. When Teddy locks up Alicia, the music that plays is actually very similar to something called Light of the Seven in Game of Thrones, where Cersei blows up the Sept of Baelor. A lot of deaths, but Daniel would hit different in the worst way if he gets locked out. And if it's for Charlie, I'm sorry, that's going to leave the worst taste in my mouth. I'm going to have to phone a fucking helpline. I'm going to have to get a third-party help here. That will be the saddest shit I've ever seen if Daniel gets nuked. Don't do it. These episodes are looking to be really, really good. But I'm sorry, that would taint it for me if Daniel dies, because at this point, they are killing off the best characters. I don't care about Shock. I'm not a big fan of Charlie. I would be shocked if she got nuked, though. So don't think you've got to kill Daniel. But George, it's a full circle for him. He's going to save Charlie to what he wanted. I don't care what he wants. Get in the bunker and stop being, honestly, talking about Shock. It's more of a shock that Charlie's still alive. Don't be messing around with Daniel. There's rumours, and I'm not surprised by this, that after they go into the bunker, they'll be in there for 7 years, catching them up to the Walking Dead's current timeline. Tell me again how that crossover won't happen. Tell me again how Season 7 isn't the last Fear season. Anyway, what did you think of episode 14? Who do you think will die in the nuke? Make sure you comment down below and let me know what you think. Of course, if you enjoyed this video, then make sure you press the like button. It will genuinely help me out and get this video seen by more people. And of course, make sure you subscribe so that you're the first to see my videos. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.